Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm feeling a little bit better, but kind of sound like a man. With that being said, thank you to all of you who commented. I haven't posted a couple of videos just because I was very sick, very grounded after or during New Year's. It actually started to happen on New Year's Eve in the evening, and basically I'm still battling it. I'm actually filming this on Monday, the 8th of January, so it has kind of lasted. It went from a flu to a cold to like now it's in my nasal cavities and I sound dead sexy. Anyway, so yeah, I have a very manly voice, more than normal, I guess. Anyway, with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This is a Fragrance Friday video, a little bit late, of course, but it is going to be a video talking all about the fragrances that are on my wish list for 2024. I only have a few right now, but of course, as the year goes on, I'm sure there'll be tons of things that I will want to purchase, pick up, and especially if designers are really starting to pump out vanilla like based products, I'll be all over that because you guys know that vanilla is my absolute #1 scent note in fragrance, period, end of story. I am looking forward to seeing if we might find some more of those designer fragrances coming out for 2024, near and dear to my heart of a vanilla scent. But before we go any further, I'm going to share with you guys what is on my lips and what is on my nails, because if I don't, you always ask. On my lips, I have a combo. This is an amplified formula from MAC. This is the color Craving, and it is quite a bright lipstick. It is still bright. What I did is I did put it on and then I blotted it with this like a tissue just to kind of mute it down a little bit, and then I added this Pink Lady lip gloss from Full On Lip Cream, from Buxom, and it still smells really good. I've had it for quite a while, but it hasn't gone off yet. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. With that being said, this is what's on my nails, and I just made a huge order with ILMP, and I'm so excited. This is ILMP's In the Clouds, and this is an absolutely stunning silver, peachy, pinky, shifty, shimmery concoction that I absolutely love, and I've been wearing it on my nails for quite a few days with 0 chips on it. Of course, I do put a good base coat and top coat over top. This is wonderful, and I'm very glad I have it in my collection. So stay tuned for those nail polish collections because ILMP and Hollow Taco are next. Okay, so now let's start talking about the fragrances I have on my list, my wish list for 2024. Like I mentioned before, these are just things that I'm looking at. I've kind of listened to other people talk about it, or they're things that I'm pretty sure I'm going to really enjoy. One of the items on this list, since I made this list, I did pick it up. So you'll see another video on that shortly, but I'll get into that when we get closer to that particular fragrance. I'll let you know what that is. So the very first fragrance is by Zerof. I don't own anything by Zerof, but I really want to. This one here in particular is called Starlight. I'm looking over here in Fragrantica, and Starlight is just a fragrance I've heard so many people talk about. I love the spicy vanilla, just beautiful kind of scents this time of year. I just love it, those types of scents. And this one, it's not going to disappoint, I don't think. The main accords for Starlight by Zerof are warm, spicy, cinnamon, almond, aromatic, amber, and citrus. Top notes are cardamom and bergamot. Mid notes are cinnamon, almond, and cloves. Base notes are amber and cedar. A lot of these notes in the order of the pyramid that they are sitting in, I absolutely adore. There isn't anything about this that's making me a little cringe. The only thing I would say that I'm interested to see how it lands on my skin, my chemistry, is the almond fragrance in this particular perfume. But I am willing and wanting to purchase this one for 2024. Now, there aren't a lot of places I can purchase this. I think maybe Zerof I might be able to find in Canada. Be Gorgeous Beauty sells some Zerof, as well as Holt Renfrew. I can order online with them. So hopefully if one of those places has a sale coming up, I might be able to purchase this one, but I definitely look forward to purchasing this, having this in my collection. And again, all of those scent notes are definitely on my wish list. The next fragrance on my list will not be a surprise to pretty much any of you who watch my fragrance videos. It's none other than MFK or Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir. I have had this on my radar of things to purchase for quite some time. Now, what I'm noticing is they don't do a lot of variations where it's just a 30 ml. They just jump up to I think it's the 50 ml, which is still so expensive. And it's definitely a fragrance I would want for this time of year again. I'm in love with fall winter fragrances and the heavy ambers, the vanillas. My body just absolutely loves these fragrances. My friend Emmy has sent me a sample beautiful, but also when I made an order with Be Gorgeous Beauty out in Halifax, Nova Scotia, again, they're one of the only places outside of Holt Renfrew that I can purchase straight up from when it comes to niche brand houses. They sent me a sample, and I think Tim knew that I love this one. He sent me home with a sample when I was about to move to BC, and I used it up. So Tim sent me another sample of the Grand Soir, and I absolutely adore it. It's such a great scent. Main accords for Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir are amber and vanilla. Fragrance notes are amber, vanilla, siam, benzoin, tonka bean, Spanish labdanum, and lavender. Love this so much. I know it's a little more male leaning, but I do love those male leaning fragrances. Again, it has lavender. You know, those people can yell at me. I've been yelled at in capital letters through different things on my videos. Lavender and vanilla, two fragrances that I enjoy. Lavender has to be sweet, but normally if it's followed with a vanilla, it's normally just my perfect type of vanilla. And I think also males will enjoy this fragrance as well. It's just a deep, rich, musky, beautiful fragrance that I have worn. I know it lasts a long time. It's just expensive. So I have to kind of break down and get like the 50 ml, I think, because I haven't found it in a 30 ml yet. I might just be looking in the wrong place. If you know where I can get a 30 ml, let me know. Next up is a fragrance that I have received a sample from Sephora on one of my orders, and it's from Milk by Commodity. This is an expressive fragrance. And now they have like this thing where it's like, one of the versions is a little lighter. It's just for like the people near you. Then there's expressive, and like the grand one is like the sillage will be left behind for months when you leave a room kind of thing. This one's kind of in the middle. I've had this as a sample, really love it. Really great again for this time of year for the winter season. And it's definitely something that is right up my alley. It lasts a long time. It was great to get a sample from Sephora to know how it does last on me. Now, Sephora only sells the really large bottle. I don't know if they even sell the smaller bottles because I have quite an extensive fragrance collection, at least in my mind I do. And I don't need the biggest bottle that, you know, places make, but I don't know if this is actually in a smaller bottle. I think it's a 50 ml or maybe even 100 ml. I don't know. And that's all I can see. But anyway, I will get it eventually. I'm really enjoying the sample that I have. So let's go check out what Fragrantica has to say about it. Main accords for Milk by Commodity are sweet, lactonic, woody, powdery, musky, vanilla, aromatic, and amber. Top note is milk. Mid notes are marshmallow and natural musk. Base notes are tonka bean and mahogany. This one's a beast. Again, very unisex, very sweet, very lactonic. You have to really enjoy a lactonic presence in your fragrances. And I hope that you've tried it first, because the lactonic scent note can really sour on some people. It's like with me and lemon and I don't do that great because I tend to have like a really warm body temperature, and for some reason lemon scents to me, they sour up really fast on me. Milk, on the other hand, funny enough, does really well, and I think it's like with the benefit of all these other fragrance notes in this. Next up is a brand new fragrance that I was this close to purchasing when Sephora had their 20% off of fragrances. I think it was until Boxing Day or whatever it was, or maybe it started Boxing Day. I didn't end up getting it just because I was like, oh no, you know what, it's Christmas season. I'll wait for the next sale. So there'll be lots of sales down the road when it comes to Sephora. 20% off is what I'll get. This is none other than Tom Ford's Vanilla SEX. And I say that in letters because YouTube will probably demonetize my video, and just because that's the name of something and I can't say it fully. Tom Ford's Vanilla SEX is definitely on my list, but I'm going to watch a few more reviews because I am finding that there are some people going, my hopes were so high. And then they got it and they're like, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. And this is a very expensive fragrance. Like for a 30 ml, it's like, you know, not including the 20% off I could get eventually from Sephora. But I want to say it was like 300 and I don't know. It was close to $300 Canadian anyway. It's like $260 or something ridiculous. So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that Sephora, when I place an order online with them, maybe they'll have a sample, because I think I'm going to need to sample this one because it's too expensive. It's too much of a risk, I think. And I do love vanilla, as I said right in the opening of this video, but I don't know if this is the right vanilla for me. There's only one way to find out. So let's go check out the main accords. Main accords for Vanilla SEX by Tom Ford are vanilla, sweet, almond, nutty, amber, powdery, fruity, and floral. Top note is bitter almond. Middle notes are vanilla and floral notes. Base notes are vanilla absolute, ultra vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwood. So again, this is one of those ones I am not sure what's going to happen here. I don't know if I'm going to end up getting it. It's pretty expensive. So if I can get myself a sample from Sephora, or if I'm able to get to a counter somewhere, I don't live near any place that's fancy enough to have Tom Ford. I don't even think Sephora even has it out, even in the 2 Sephoras on my entire Vancouver Island. I don't think they even carry the Tom Ford out there for you to smell. So with that being said, I want to get my nose on it first before I purchase it. I will continue to watch some reviews on it. But if you have vanilla SEX, let me know. What are your thoughts? If vanilla is definitely something like myself, where vanilla is like your number 1 fragrance note, did this disappoint for you, or were you really very much embracing this whole experience and was everything you wanted? I don't know. I'm still torn. On to a fragrance house that I love, and this is another designer house. YSL's new fragrance is Black Opium Over Red, and I loved their Black Opium Le Parfum. I love the original. I also really enjoyed, I think it was the neon that I enjoyed. Those are the ones I really enjoyed. The other ones, I can take them or leave them. But I did buy the larger bottle, like a 50 ml. For me, that's a lot. In the Le Parfum, because if you love vanilla, again, I sound like a broken record. If you love vanilla, you know. That's a great one. Now, when they had this over red and it had this little cherry note into it, I was very intrigued. And I definitely have had this on my list. This list I'm going through with you guys today, I've been dealing with and like putting down on a piece of paper and in my phone for over 3 months at this point. So I kind of bought it already. So there will be a review on this fragrance likely in the next Friday or 2. And I will go over what I think this smells like, if I really enjoy it, was it worth it for me to get, as compared to those ones I already mentioned that I really love. With that being said, I already had this, but let's go check out Fragrantica to see what they say about this too. The main accords for Black Opium Over Red by YSL are cherry, white floral, sweet, vanilla, coffee, warm spicy, patchouli, citrus, woody, and balsamic. Top notes are cherry and green mandarin. Mid notes are orange blossom, jasmine, and black tea. And base notes are Madagascar vanilla, coffee, and Indonesian patchouli leaf. So there's a lot of the same fragrances a Black Opium has in all of their flankers, including the original with coffee and patchouli and things like that. Now, where it really makes a big difference is that cherry note and the over red. I totally understand why they've chosen to go with that over red, because of the cherry note. So again, I'm not going to speak too much about this fragrance today, but I will be coming to you guys in the next Friday or 2 talking about this fragrance and giving you all the deets. The next fragrance I'm going to talk to you guys about is not a surprise if you follow my channel for quite some time. It is by a niche house that I absolutely adore, because one of my favorite fragrances is Side Effect, and that is Initio. And Initio have quite a few fragrances in their lineup. Now, I already have Side Effect, as I mentioned, but my next fragrance on my wish list, and I do have a sample of it, and I do love it, and that's Absolute Aphrodesiac. And this one, I remember I was still living in Halifax, went to Be Gorgeous Beauty in Halifax, talked to Tim, he gave me a sample. I'm still working on the sample. I'm a little nervous because I got to use it a little bit more this time of year, because it's definitely, again, a fall winter fragrance. And I'm noticing it's starting to evaporate my little sample. I want the bottle. Now, the nice thing about Initio is I know that these fragrances, this whole house does such a wonderful job of the sillage, that scent note, that trail that when you leave a room, you leave a mark. People know you have been there. It's gorgeous. It lasts a long time. And like I've said before, and Arlene has articulated in a video that she did, Delicious Delights, she and I agree very much, very wholeheartedly, that something's up with the designer house when it comes to fragrances, because designer fragrances are nearly as much now as a niche brand house on some of the niche brands. Obviously, some of them are really, really expensive. But in general, what's happening is the designer fragrances are catching up on cost-wise for how much you would pay for the amount and the bottle of a actual niche brand house. With that said, I've always said go niche. If you were to choose, if you had to save money and another couple months worth of some money to make sure you got a really great bang for your buck, niche. You're also supporting smaller businesses. Like a lot of the designer companies, unfortunately, what's happened is they've sort of purchased up a whole bunch of other companies, and then they water down everything and reformulate. And that normally means cheaper ingredients, watered it down. Things that used to be strong aren't strong anymore. I'm not saying that about all of them, but that is kind of the general consensus. And yet their prices are going up. The niche house brands are going up a little bit, but not nearly as significant as the designers. So back to Initio. Let's go to Fragrantica and check out the main accords. The main accords for Absolute Aphrodesiac by Initio are vanilla, leather, amber, powdery, animalic, musky, smoky, and sweet. Fragrance notes are vanilla, amber, castoreum, leather, musk, and white flowers. Again, this is another one of those like male female fragrances. Anyone can wear this. It's super strong. You are going to make a presence known when you wear this. Literally 1 or 2 sprays and you're good to go. Like you literally don't need much more. And the first time I sprayed it, I remember my eyes went in the back of my head. I was like, oh, this is really good. Like where have I been sleeping under a rock here? Because I love this. Now, Initio, I did purchase Side Effect. That was my number 1. This is my number 2, and this is what I don't have yet. This is definitely on my list. So the next fragrance we're going to talk about is something I've had a sample from my friend Emmy. She sent me a sample, many of them actually, back when I lived in Halifax. And I've saved all the empty little sample bottles of the ones I really want to buy. And this is one of them, and that is BDK's Rouge Smoking. This is a scent that I absolutely adored the first time my nose ever laid sniffness to the scent. As this is a great scent, and it's another one of those fragrances from a niche house. I know I can get it from Tim over at Be Gorgeous Beauty. I will definitely, again, wait for a sale, but let's go check out Fragrantica for those main accords. Main accords for Rouge Smoking by BDK are vanilla, sweet, powdery, amber, cherry, musky, almond, woody, and balsamic. Top notes are cherry, pink pepper, and bergamot. Mid notes are black vanilla husk, heliotrope, orange blossom. Base notes are tonka bean, cashmere wood, white musk, ambroxan, labdanum, and violet. This one has that little essence of almost like a Dr. Pepper. I kind of like it a lot. And I'm not super into cherry, but like with the whole black opium over red had cherry in it. I know I'm late to the game. Cherry came out 3 years ago. It was the big scent note of the season. Anyway, with that being said, I do really love this one. I already know it lasts a long time on me. For a niche brand house, they're not terribly expensive compared to some like MFK or some other ones on this list. So with that being said, it's been on my list for quite some time. I have smelt it. I know it works for me, and I know I'm going to get it eventually. This last bottle I have again lusted for because, again, my friend Emmy, in that same little care package that I received from her, she sent me a sample of this as well. This is none other than Atia Desor, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Rouge Smoking. And this is a beautiful fragrance, a beautiful bottle. It's absolutely gorgeous. It does very well on my skin, and I know that because I tried it and I used it. The sample's been long gone, like a long time ago. Let's go check out those main accords. Main accords for Rouge Smoking by Atia Desor are sweet, woody, fruity, vanilla, balsamic, warm spicy, powdery, cinnamon, amber, and patchouli. Top notes are plum, cinnamon, and jasmine. Mid notes are dates, patchouli, and heliotrope. Base notes are vanilla, Peru balsam, guaiac wood, and sandalwood. You got dates? Check. You got vanilla? Check. And anything else other than that is like a bonus for me. I absolutely adore this fragrance. Again, I already know it works for me and my chemistry because I did have that sample from Emmy. Thank you, Emmy, so much for those. You were the one. I don't know if you're watching, but Emmy is the one who really got me into the niche side of fragrances, because as much as designers are great, and don't get me wrong, they're very obtainable. I can go to Shoppers Drug Mart. And being Canadian, I can go to the Bay and things like that. What these niche houses goes to a whole new experience, and she sent me so many samples, of which 95% of them I was just I need all of them. My wallet does not thank Emmy very much, but I thank Emmy very, very much. So thanks, Emmy. All right, you guys, that was my wish list for 2024. I know there's not a ton. Like I said, I know there's going to be fragrances dropping throughout the year that I'm going to need. I am so excited about 2024 and what it'll bring. And again, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if the end of 2023 was any indicator of what we might see, especially with designer houses when it comes to fragrances, I'm really hoping we get more really strong vanilla fragrances that I think that I will love very much. And again, my wallet will not love me. But anyway, bring on all the vanilla. That's all I have to say. What are your wish list items for the year of 2023? Like, have you guys been lusting over a certain fragrance? And is there something based on all these fragrances I've just shared with you? Is there one here that you were like, okay, you didn't mention this, Kim, but I think you'll like it. Let me know. I need to know what else I need. Want. Need want? Yeah, need want. I hope you had a great New Year. I hope everyone was healthy. Like I said, I was really healthy up until New Year's Eve, and it was just like downhill from there. But that's okay. I'm on the mend, and I'm starting to make the videos and get them ready, but I definitely needed a little break. So as always, you guys, be safe, take care, and have fun. Bye, guys.